to you live each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe.
Can y'all hear me? Oh, Lord. Is my microphone working? Okay. Hey, everybody. Can y'all hear me? I think you guys should be able to hear me. Why is it telling me my volume is down? Oh, maybe because... No, that's all right. Can y'all hear me? It's telling me my volume is down. But anyway, hopefully you guys can hear me. I see it says, yes, you can hear me. So I'm not sure why it's saying my volume down. But hey, good afternoon, everybody. I've been saying I was going to bring this story to you guys for a few days now. So I was like, let me go on and get this story out the way. Hope everybody is doing good. Please hit that thumbs up button for me. Listen, we're going to do a live right now because later on, a sister girl is going to spend some time with the hubby and her 23, almost 23-year-old daughter, okay? So this is what we're going to do. Today, we are going to talk about the social media influencer, cryptocurrency exchanger or trader, should I say, from Australia, okay? His name is Andre. Last name Rebelo, 28 years old. Now, this content creator right here, her name is Gracie. Last name, I'm going to mess it up. Piscopo. How many of you guys have heard about this story? It's out of Australia. 28 years old Andre is standing trial right now as we speak, charged with the murder of his mother. Now, he's not been found guilty or anything because they're still going to trial, but he's been charged with her murder. He is standing trial for it. She said, I've been following it. Okay, great, Meg. Thank you so much. So listen, let me put up the mom right quick. So that's his mother. She was 58 years old at the time. It happened back in 2020, okay? She was 58 years old. He's 28 years old. Now, they found the mother in the bathtub, unalived, in her own home, okay? They first ruled it natural causes, thought maybe she had, she said, your voice is acting up again. Oh, Lord. Is my voice acting up again? Or we just gonna have to just keep it moving this time, you guys. I don't know what to say. Let me move the microphone away from me. What about now? I moved the microphone back a little bit so I'm not hovering over it. What about now? Let me know what it sounds like now. Hey, everybody coming in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for me. She said, I'm on my lunch break. Listen, while waiting on you to tell this one. Yes, girl. So listen, they ruled it a natural cause. She said, you have that list again. I'm sorry, you guys. We just gonna have to roll with it. I don't know what's wrong with the list thing. But listen, they ruled her death a natural cause. And he almost got away with it. But about a year after they ruled her death a natural cause, the insurance company and the coroner start asking questions. You're not going to believe what this young man did. A week before his mother passed away, this guy right here, Andre, went and took out insurance policies, life insurance on his mother, over $1 million. Some sites say like 1.5, but over $1 million. He forged the documents in order to secure those life insurance policies. Nobody knew he had them but him, okay? So when they found out, they like, wait a minute, hold on. He just went and took out these policies. A week later, she passes away. And 2 days later, after they bury her, should I say, 2 days after she's put in the ground, he's trying to cash in. He wants his money, y'all. Now, let me put this up. That was his girlfriend. She's a social media content creator. She has over 1 million followers on her Instagram. You already know what I'm about to say, right? When they come out to social media, dressed like this, looking like this, people think they got money, right? So they have an image to uphold, but in reality, they were broken than a joke. They were, I think, over $200,000 in debt, but it didn't look like it on social media, right? So, all right, let me put this disclaimer up. Thank you so very much, Mama 3. There's my disclaimer right here going across the bottom. Basically says the things that I say out of my mouth is based on my opinion and my opinion only, okay? Anyway, they thought people was like, oh my God, they so rich, you know, they got it going on and whatever. You know how it is. You know how I'm always saying, don't believe these people on the internet that come out and pretend they got it going on. They might look the part, but in reality, some of these people are struggling, okay? So at any rate, they looked like they had it going on out on social media, but behind closed doors, they were drowning in debt. That would be a good reason for him to want these insurance policies, right? So anyway, his mom comes up unalived in her own home. He almost got away with it, right? But they start doing a little bit more digging. I would say if he probably didn't, contact the insurance company right away, maybe they would have, let it slide. However, his quick, I need to go cash this insurance policy in. Well, it raised some suspicion, but they didn't tell him right away. They start doing their own investigation. So I don't know much about how they do these insurance policies, but the insurance company reached out to the coroner's office to find out what's going on, right? To do a little bit more investigation. Like, wait a minute, what was the cause of this death? So they had initially ruled it natural causes, which, that could be from anything. It could be from just old age, or even though she was only 58 years old, so that's not old, but she did have some type of health conditions, but nothing too serious. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that was, concerning. So that's why they said natural causes. Anywho, they start asking him questions about it. And at first he's denying, but he couldn't deny no more about the fraud of the insurance policy. So he admitted to the fraud. He admitted to forging documents. He said, hey, you got me. I'm guilty. I am guilty for forging documents, paperwork. Yeah, okay. To get the insurance claim, I did that. I needed the money, but I didn't kill my mother. I didn't kill my mother, is what he's saying. He didn't kill his mom. Nobody knew about the insurance policies but him. But now he's saying he didn't do it. So the prosecution is saying, oh, yes, you did. We believe that you did it. You had motive. You was broke, Joker. You had no money. Your girlfriend had no money. Him and his girlfriend had a son. They were struggling. So the prosecutor said, we believe you did it. We believe you did it for money. We believe you did it for greed. We believe you did it for betrayal. But the defense says, hold on. My client had already confessed to fraud. He already said he signed those documents illegally. If he'll confess to that, knowing that he'll get in trouble, then he would confess to unaliving her, don't you think? So the defense is saying, why would he admit to one lie? Or should I say, why would he admit to one charge, knowing that he's still going to get in trouble, and not admit to the other one? But who wants to go down or even be known as killing your mother? Nobody, right? Nobody wants. I'm sure if he did it, which I'm not saying he did or not, because the case is still going on, But if he did it, even if they found him guilty for it, I don't believe that he'll ever admit it. No one wants to go down and admit that they unalived their mother. But the day of the incident, he made some panicking, frantic calls to his girlfriend. Pick up the phone, I need to talk to you right now. And even his brother said that he was acting a little strange. This is the day of the mother's death. He's acting strange. He's acting out. He's acting weird. He's acting different. Okay? I'm going to pull up the text messages right quick. Hold on one second. That he sent to his girlfriend. They was just released yesterday, actually. Hold on one second. All right, let me see these text messages. And right now, him and the content creator has since broken off their relationship. Okay. All right, here's the text messages. It says, let me put these two back up because the text messages between these two. It says a series of text messages was shown to Pisco, which she admitted to sending to Pablo on the same day of the mother's death. In them, she said, answer your effing phone, followed up with, where are you? After later sending, oh my God, I swear to God, Andre. And then answer the effing phone for F's sakes. Okay? She was calling. He wouldn't answer the phone. This is the same day that his mother was found unalived. It says, when asked about the tone, the girlfriend said she was frustrated as her boyfriend had a habit of keeping his phone on silent, so she got angry when he didn't pick up. Okay? She says, she then told the court that he returned home around lunch, stating that there was nothing unusual about how he looked or acted. He just didn't answer the phone. It says, did he have any injuries anywhere? She says, no. The court, hold on. Let me get to the text messages. Because this is the script. Hold on. Let me get to all the text messages. From Gracie. Okay, so it's not text messages, it's actually a recording. Okay, the recording was released. Okay, so this is what it says. In the recording, the girlfriend could be heard complaining that Andre was being framed for his mother's murder to get her freaking money, and then trying to explain a series of angry text messages and phone calls she made to her partner phone on the morning of Colleen Rebelo's death. Her name is Colleen. That's the mother, okay? Colleen Rebelo. So anyway, it says, in the state case, the Rebelo was in the process of unaliving his mother when Andre sent a barrage of messages asking him to answer his phone. I mean, not Andre, but Gracie. Okay, about 45 minutes on the morning on May 25, 2020. She says, I was thinking in my head, I'd probably text, where are you? And you were downstairs in the cubby house, and I would have warned blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she said that she felt stupid texting him over and over and over again. She said dumb. I felt dumb texting him over and over and over again. So she doesn't think that he did it. However, she did have to admit that she could not get in touch with him for about 45 minutes on the day of the mom's death. However, she said when he came home, he acted normal, he looked normal, nothing looked suspicious, right? However, on a phone call between them two, the jail call, I don't know why they didn't think it was going to be recorded, they were heard discussing the text message. Oh my God, they're going to think that you did it. They're going to think you did it, and they're going to think you did it for money, is what she says, okay? Anyway, it says she could be heard on the calls complaining about her reputation if the news got out to everybody, you know, because she's a social media influencer with over 1 million followers, right? She's like, oh my God, what are people going to think? This is going to ruin me. This is going to ruin me. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why they broke up, because she was concerned about her reputation, you know, and losing her followers and people thinking that she's involved with all of this other stuff that he's involved with. If the news get out, this could ruin me. This could ruin us. They have a son together, you know? So anyway, I don't have the recording, but they kind of like sublived it here. It says some of the recordings included Andre's twin sister, Monique, who is asking him about the charges and what they were related to. It wasn't like I KI'd someone and tried to get their life insurance, he can be heard saying to her. Yeah, she responded. So that's why I was like, what is this all about? During the conversation, Andre can also be heard comparing the police who arrested him to a knock set because they told him they were just doing their job, okay? So I don't have the recording of the jailhouse call. It was just released yesterday. I'm looking on this Australian site. I don't know if they want to give it to us. However, she said the police bugged his home. Yeah, so he's basically saying he didn't do it for the money. He needed the money. Yes, he was broke as a joke or whatever. But he's saying he didn't unalive his mama for money. He actually saying he unalived his mama at all. He's saying, oh, she had this health condition, and I actually have the health condition too. Yeah, so he's trying to say his mother died of natural death. So he only wants to go down just for the fraud. He definitely do not want to go down. I mean, not the fraud, but the forging of the document. He definitely do not want to go down for unaliving his mother. The trial is still going on right now, and we will not know until they finish the trial, of course, but I'm going to be following it. But I have questions for you guys, okay? What do you think? If your brother, your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband take a policy out on his mother 1 week prior to the death, and she dies, a couple of days later, he goes and try to cash in, what would you think? Especially if you didn't know about it until afterwards, what would you think? What would you do? How would you feel? Would you stand beside him? Y'all were both struggling financially, having a hard time, keeping up paying those bills. Would you believe he had something to do with it? She said guilty, whether it's a brother, uncle, boyfriend, husband. Bobby said he did it. He's going to be a suspect immediately. And he was, and he is. So they're still saying, okay, so the coroner report came back and it said they can't prove that it was a strangulation or a drowning. They can't prove it. They ruled it a natural death. They cannot prove, right now that it was a strangling or, asphyxiation or anything like that. They can't say that that's what it was, which I find that kind of strange. But they wasn't thinking right away, They probably like, because you got to think, they didn't even, the timeline of them, okay, so listen, she passed away, let me see the date. She passed away in 2020 in May. The police uncovered his fraudulent activities with, forging the documents in 2021. And then he was charged with the forgery, but denied unaliving his mother's death in 2022. And then the trial begins in 2024. So the coroner, when they fixed her up or whatever and put her in the ground, they didn't think there was any foul play there. They thought, oh, she just passed away. She just passed away. They did not suspect him at all. So he actually thought he had gotten away with it. But, the insurance company, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have to investigate every death, especially if it's a short window between you taking the policy out to you cashing the policy in. I believe so. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm assuming that they was like, wait a minute, this is a brand new policy. Like already 1 week? Like what's really going on? So they start doing their investigation. They investigate him. They contact the coroner. They find out that the paperwork was forged and that he was broke prior to this incident. He had financial struggles. However, he says, hey, my girlfriend, my baby mama, is a content creator, and we just land a good deal, like with what you call it? They did product placements and stuff like that, like not product placement. People would pay, what do you call it? I can't think of what do you call it, but people would pay them to do certain videos and stuff like that. I think it's product placement, but he said they had just landed a deal, a promotion. That's what I'm trying to say. They had just landed a promotion that would have set them straight and turned them into millionaires. That's what he's saying. He said it wasn't about money. Yes, we were struggling, but we had just got a promotion that would have landed us to be millionaires. We was about to be millionaires. So it couldn't have been for money, right? It was like, oh, we was about to be good. She said, what state did this happen in? This happened in Australia. This ain't even in America. The reason why I'm covering it is because, things happen all over the world. But this right now has garnered worldwide attention because, they're both social media influencers. They do content together. So they became popular on Instagram and TikTok. And now they're being charged. Well, not her. She's not being charged. He's being charged and accused of unaliving his own mother. What say you? Do you think he's just a forger of documents, or do you think that he is a cold-blooded killer? Do you think he's guilty? The verdict is still out. The verdict is still out. She said, I would damn sure make sure what? He was not my beneficiary after that. She says, nothing at all against my Caucasian people because I love everybody, but what do they do? She said, but why do they do stuff like this and think they can get away with it? Hey, I don't think it's just them. I have to say that because y'all know Some of our brown-skinned people would do the same thing and probably have done the same thing. So I don't know if it just relies just on race. Now, thinking that they can get away with breaking the law as a whole, now that's a whole different story. Because yes, I do believe that most of them think that they can get away with breaking laws. But as far as unaliving for insurance money, a lot of people do that. Matter of fact, what was the guy? The guy, Tim, was it Tim that just got arrested because he unalived his nephew or something like that? Was the guy named Tim? And he did it for insurance. It was Tim something. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Him and his auntie had like a cooking show. What was his name? It was Tim something. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I'm looking it up now. Yeah, it was Sweetie Pie, yeah. And what was the guy named? Wasn't it Tim? See the guy name. Yeah, Tim Norman. That's it. Tim Norman. Okay. Yes, so that was over insurance money as well. Okay. She said, did he get the money? No, he did not receive any insurance payout following his mother's death. Okay. He did not. He attempted to claim the money by forging the documents. Okay. He also falsified the coroner's report and the medical records. He falsified it. So he tried to claim that his mom had some type of illness or whatever. How do you falsify medical records? You know what? He must have falsified the medical records in order to get the insurance in the first place. So they say he did not get the money. He attempted to claim the insurance benefits by submitting forged documents, including a falsified coroner's report and medical records. These fraudulent activities were detected by the insurance company, which then reported the matter to the police. Consequently, no funds were given out to Andre, and then they turned around and charged that joker with multiple counts of fraud. So he didn't get the money. Who forged medical records? He did a little bit too much to get that money, but didn't want to say that they was about to come into millions, is what he said. Oh, that was his mom. I don't know why I thought that was his auntie. Okay. But he did it for insurance money, even though he says he's innocent, but he did it for insurance money. You know? So Andre, that's his girlfriend, or now ex, or whatever. Him and his girlfriend I believe they wanted to continue to live that lavish lifestyle. But would you really off your mama in order for you to live a good lifestyle? Would you? I know y'all won't, but I'm just saying. Is it worth it? Can you look at yourself every day? Can you? Can you wake up and look at yourself in the morning knowing that you offed your mama for $1 million? And these days, $1 million don't last a long time. You know what I'm saying? Said, do you believe the girlfriend knew? No, I don't think so. Well, let me just say it. Right now, they have not connected her to it, okay? So, no, I don't think she knew. And the reason why I say that is because on the morning of the day of the death, She was calling trying to find out where he was. So I don't think she knew. But I would say this, they haven't connected her to it yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's something that's going to come down the pipe later, but I don't think so. I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew. It says she had no prior knowledge of Andrew's alleged activities. Okay. However, she said she knows now. I think, yes, she knows now. She knows now. But she testified that their financial situation was pretty good. And they was like, wait a minute, hold on. There's some suspicion going on because we see that it wasn't good. Your finances was jacked up. Both of y'all was broke as a joke. But her testimony that our finances was good, you know, we was okay or whatever. And she testified that she had no prior knowledge of Andre's alleged activities. So she's saying she did a testimony saying, nope, I didn't know anything about this. Right? She's like, no. So anyway, the case is still going on. The verdict is still out. We don't know yet, but I will be letting you guys know when a verdict comes down. But right now, he is facing, I think they do capital punishment there. Hold on, let me find out what capital punishment. I think capital punishment for them is life in prison, but let me see. It says, if he's found guilty, he will face life in prison under the Australian law. So life in prison is, it said typically carries mandatory life. However, the court could determine the minimum non-parole period of 10 to 25 years. But given the alleged financial motive, premeditation, and the forgery, it's likely that the court would impose life without parole. Wow. Life without parole. If he's found guilty, which right now is not looking good for him, because he got a period on the day of her death of nobody knew where the hell he was. You got your girlfriend texting you, where are you? Pick up your phone. Why you're not answering? What is going on? What the freak is going on? And he wasn't answering. So he has a period during that time of nobody knew where the hell he was. Meg said, makes me wonder still how many social media influencers display being rich when they're not. Most of them. Most of them. I believe a lot more than we know. A lot more than, you know, I believe that a lot of content creators, social media influencers, especially the ones that floss, because you got to think about it for a second. Like, let's put up some photos. They got a lot of photos. Let's pull up on Instagram right quick. Because, honey, baby, child, once you come out and pretend that you got it going on, you know, like I'm talking about got it going on, and people are like, oh my God, goals. I wish I was you. Oh my God, you just got it going on. You got to keep that up. You got to continue living. And then not only you got to keep it up. Hold on. Her last name is, here you go, right here. Not only do you have to keep it up, but you got to upgrade. You got to level up. You know what I'm saying? You got to go stronger and harder. Thank you, Tinker. She said, a fool and his money will soon part ways. There was clearly bad with his money. they would have been broke again in no time. So his mom died in vain. Exactly, because $1 million is not that much. But let's take a look at, thank you, Tinkers, appreciate that. So look, it's already said, she said Latrice Allen just downsized her home because she's not making the money she used to. I think that was smart of her. Yeah, so some people are real, okay? So some people are very transparent with what's going on in their life, but some people just want to fake the funk and act like they got it going on until it's revealed that they don't. So anyway, so it wasn't revealed that they was broke until they start doing all the investigation stuff, right? But let's go back a little bit on how they came to the internet flossing like they just had it going on. Now, this is in Australia. You know what I'm saying? So that's them. No, I don't. Is that them? Then they don't look like him. But anyway, I'm assuming that's them because would she put a picture of somebody else up there? I don't know. They don't look like him. But sometimes he has hair. Is that him? Meg, is that him? That look like she dating somebody else, but this is 44 weeks ago, so it has to be him. He just looked different. But I know he did grow hair at one time. That don't look like him to me. Hold on. Let me put this fella back up. Does that look like him to y'all? That look like a whole different dude. That ain't the same guy, is it? No. Is it? I don't think that's the same guy. Huh. Anyway, but let's go back to her Instagram. Let me see. Now I gotta be nosy. Now I gotta be nosy. Now I got to be nosy. I'm looking for old photos. She's a pretty girl. I don't think that was him because it says 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I think she stopped at 2021 with this guy. So the murder happened in 2020 and they broke up in 2021 when he was charged, okay? So I think she done moved on with her life. She said deuces. She with somebody else. She is not with her baby daddy no more. She with somebody else. She probably with somebody else with some money right about now. Yeah, see, that's him right there. So that's a whole different guy. His hair is not jet black like that, you see? So she was with him. Now she's with somebody else. She with a whole nother guy. She ain't waste no time. She said, Yeah, so she stepped out. So she posted that. And then boom. Let me see if that's the first time she posted him. Yeah, she posted him in. Oop, this might be the first time. 47 weeks ago. And she said, I guess this makes it official. No, wait a minute. That is him. Anyway, I don't think that's him. That dude don't look like him at all. Yeah, it says, wow, your new man is hot. That's what it says. Somebody in the comments said, your new man is hot. So this is a new guy. She with a whole nother guy. Okay? So, but anyway, let me just go back to how they were living, how they were flossing, how people thought that they had money. Let's go back to that, okay? So now they in Australia, they're posing, look, purses. I think I just saw look, nice hotel rooms, penthouse suites. Look at the cars. I don't even know what type of car that is, but it looks nice. It says, beep, beep, my new whip. Okay. But they were broke, you guys. They were broke. They were broke. $200,000 in debt. But that didn't stop them from flossing. That didn't stop them from going on trips. That didn't stop them from being flashy. Right? But I think that when you tell social media that you got it going on financially, you got to keep up with that. It got to get better. You know what I'm saying? If they looking like they living, they doing well, they got to keep on looking like that. They got to elevate it. And he's like, shoot, I need $1 million. Now that's the new guy. That's the new guy. So maybe she had it going on and maybe he didn't. And maybe she complained about him being broke. And maybe he got the money so he can keep her. Because she looked like an expensive chick. You know? Nah, that's a whole different guy. That's a whole different guy. But I'm trying to go back to when she was with her old man. The one that's standing trial. She's an Instagram model, baby. But she got deals with like Fashion Nova and, you know, different companies like that. They have you model their clothes and stuff like that. So he testified that she had just landed some deals. I think they both did. See, that's him right there. Oh, look how young he look. But she just landed them some deals that would have made them millionaires, he says. But nevertheless, maybe he did it for her, you think? Maybe he did it for her. Maybe he wanted to keep her. And she was high valued. Anyway, we are going to continue to follow and find out what is going on with this couple. Not this couple, with definitely him, because they're no longer together. She already testified. But we are going to find out if he is guilty or not. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you think he did it. Put a 2 if you think he did not. And put 3 if you just gonna stay neutral and wait until the results come out at the end of the trial. Lakeisha said, I would be scared if I was her. He might unalive her too. I think he's still sitting in jail. Hold on, let me see. I think he's detained. Yeah, he is. Oh, hold on. I said his name wrong. Yep. Since 2020, well, since November, well, as of today, it says he remains in custody. Yep. He's in the custody. All right, I see 1s. I see some 3s. So 1s mean he did it. Y'all think he did it. 3, you remain in neutral until the case ends, and nobody put 2. So nobody thinks he's innocent. I predict he'll get off from what I've heard so far, circumstantial evidence. Yeah, because let's talk about that for a minute. There's nothing that's tying him to it. Like, they can't prove that she was strangled, you know, no fingerprints, no DNA, no none of that. So they can't prove that he actually did it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, D. Adams says she thinks he did not do it. Okay, you don't think he did it, D? You think it's just coincidence that he He took out the insurance policy. She said, yes, the coroner cannot prove strangulation. Yep, that's what they said. They said he cannot prove that she was strangled, hit with a, blunt force trauma or anything like that. They cannot prove that. That's why they ruled it a natural death. I don't think they checked for it in the beginning. But I don't know, because maybe they have a protocol. Maybe they have to check for those type of things. I'm not sure. She said, but why did he forge her name and take the policies out on her? He said he was broken. He needed money. He was struggling. He needed money. He admitted to needing the money, but he said he didn't kill her. Now, I don't know, but if he needed money, let's think about it. If he needed the money, she was 58 years old. If he needed the money, I know she had a health condition that was kind of suspect or whatever, but if he needed the money, how did he know that she was going to die right away? Like, some people live with their illnesses or diseases for years, 20, 30 years, they live with it. So even if he needed the money for that moment, how did he know that the money was right around the corner? You know what I mean? She said within a week is almost like a dead giveaway. I would think so too. I would think so too. She said, no, my daughter typed that for me. LOL, he definitely did it. Your daughter typed 2 in the chat. How old is your daughter? That's crazy. Hold on. So this is what he said. In court, Andre admitted to taking out multiple life insurance policies to address his financial troubles. Yes, he said he did it for money. He said, it said he took out multiple life insurance policies in his mother's name as part of a scheme to address his financial troubles. Yes, he literally said to address his financial troubles. It said Andre reportedly faced significant financial difficulties in the period leading up to his mother's death. Prosecutors allege he saw the life insurance policy as a payout, which totaled over $1 million as a way to solve his money's problems. They feel like it was premeditated. It was taken out shortly before her death, which prosecutors argue indicated a premeditated plan to profit from her passing. It's alleged he forged medical records, a coroner's report, and other documents to support his claim on the policies, further suggesting that the policies were part of a larger fraudulent scheme. And he's already admitted to that. Oh, can you borrow? Oh, let me see. Can you borrow? Can you borrow against a life insurance policy? It said yes, certain type of policies you can convert to cash value. But it says over time. So it still would have taken time for him to be able to address his financial woes. It wasn't going to be like tomorrow, next month. He would have had to wait for some years to accumulate something to cash out on or to convert to cash. The prosecutor said that Andre's actions was motivated by greed, and his desire to resolve his financial instability ultimately led to the alleged murder of his mother to claim the life insurance money. However, he has been denied, however, he denied the murder charge while admitting to forging the documents. He said, I did it. I forged the documents. I did that. But I didn't unalive my mother. I didn't unalive my mother. Sharonda said, you have to be insured for years. There's no way I could do that to my mom or anyone else for that matter. I miss my sweet lady daily. I thought he had to have a life insurance policy for at least 2 years before he could collect. I always thought that too, Deanne. I always thought that. So now I'm not sure about that right there. Because how in the world did he think a week later he was going to be able to get that money? How long do you need a policy in order? Let me see, honey. Google is my best friend. Well, it says 2 to 3 years. So what the hell? It says it usually takes 2 to 3 years of premium payout for a cash value to accumulate during the withdrawal or borrow against. Enough to withdraw or borrow against. It says, oh, let me see, upon death, though. Upon death. Oh, claims, you can receive it 1 to 2 weeks. So 1 to 2 weeks, he can get the money. Wow. So, even though it says that, yeah, it does say 2 to 3 years of holding the policy in order to be able to, accumulate enough to withdraw or borrow against. However, upon death, it takes 1 to 2 weeks to get it. I don't know what type of policy he had, but he must have had one of them bad policies. You know what I mean? His whole mom, though, dang, that's cold-hearted and blooded. Yes, it is. That's if he's found guilty. His debt collectors were after his ass, so he did the deed quickly. That's crazy. So let me ask you something, Meg, because I know you said you're following it too. Do you think that he did it to stay in his relationship with the young lady? Because she looked kind of pricey. I mean, I know this is IG, but she looked like she liked that lavish lifestyle. Look at her, y'all. She like, I'm her. I'm her. You can't tell me nothing. But I don't think that she wants to be associated with it. I think that's why she has broken up with him and moved the heck on. You hear me? She like, I don't know if you did it, but I don't, at this point, if you did or if you didn't, the fact that you are tied to it, she said she feels like it's going to ruin her image. Well, she said reputation. Now, you got to have money like, woo, child, you got to have money to be on one of these right here. She said, yes, she was doing better than him. I believe even so, she had debt. She had more means to get out. She was also a popular model. Yes. So she probably told him, boy, you need to get your bread up. And he probably said, okay, hold on. My mom been complaining about. He said that his mama said that she wanted to be gone from this earth. You know what I mean? She complained of wanting to be, in the heavens. You know what I mean? That's what he claimed, that his mother has often complained about not wanting to be alive, which it's crazy. I wonder why. She said, I'm not for me with Australian laws, though. So who knows? She said, do I think he did it? Yes. Will he be charged? I think he will get off. Oh, you do think he will get off? Hmm. I wonder if there is more to her diagnosis. Some doctors can give an approximate time. So let me tell you what she had. Let me tell you right quick. He said he got the same type of illness. All right, it said she had, oof. So it said her health was in generally good condition. However, she had hypothyroidism, so hyperthyroid gland, and osteopenia, that's just low bone density, indicating the risk of osteoporosis. And then she had gastritis, inflamed of the stomach lining. It says she experienced anxiety disorder, contribute to personal stress factors, but she was also diagnosed with depression. That was it. So, okay. So, why did he tell the authorities that she had an illness? Hmm. And I wonder with the insurance claim, did he tell them that she had an illness? Because I thought that if you have an illness, you can't get life insurance. You know? Glenn said, did he pay off the corners? Why you say that, Glenn? Because they can't prove that she was strangled? I don't know. She also posted photos at the time of her death on social media, which gave her a good alibi. Oh, the girl, the girlfriend. Yeah, I don't think the girlfriend had anything to do with it. I honestly don't. I don't think she had anything to do with it. She said coroners can diagnose death by strangulation, but can they do it after she's already buried? Or are you saying they check for it? Is it something that, well, this ain't America now. We do things a little different than other people. So I don't know if they even check for it. So anyway, she was in generally healthy conditions at 58 years old. So I don't know how she could just be unalived in her own home. Yeah, none of the illnesses are life threatening. Nope, not at all. But he said that she had something, and he said he has it too. It said her death was initially considered non-suspicious, and there were no visible injuries or immediate evidence of foul play. So it was checked by the coroner, and there was no visible injuries or immediate evidence of foul play. Yeah, so they did check. So, he may get off because who, how can you say, okay, he admitted to the insurance claims. He admitted to taking the claims out on his mama fraudulently. But that's it. So his defense is saying, yes, you could be a criminal with insurance fraud and not a murderer. Because to be honest with you, they don't really have no evidence that he did it, except for the insurance fraud. She said, do you think the mom committed suicide? No, because they would have known. They would, you know what I'm saying? They would have had some type of evidence. You know? Let me see. Hold on. Now, he did say to the court that his mama said that she didn't want to be alive no more, but she suffered with depression and anxiety. And y'all know sometimes, I mean, I don't, but some people be like, I don't want to live no more, but I love my life. Mm-mm. She was found in the bathroom shower after she failed to pick up the phone from work. Upon finding her unresponsive, so who found her? Let me see. Oh, her youngest son, not him. Her youngest son found her in the bathtub, in the bathroom shower after she failed to pick up from work. Upon finding her unresponsive, he called emergency services and performed CPR until the paramedics arrived. Despite those efforts, she was pronounced D.O. Not even DOA. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Dead at the scene. So she was found in the shower. Let me see. Okay, let me see. What? All right, so he forged her name. That's one. So it was almost like she took the insurance policy out, right? He forged the medical record about his mother to support the insurance claim. He faked the coroner's report to falsely certify the cause of her death. He produced a fraudulent version of the mother's will to influence the distribution of her estate. Oh my God. He changed the damn will. Oh my God. He really wanted the money. He changed her will. Oh my God. Hold on. So the will initially had, let me see. Oh my God. So he created a fraudulent version of the will to influence the distribution of her estate, likely to benefit himself financially. So I guess he wanted the will to look like his mom was giving him everything. Damn. What about your brothers? What about your brothers? She said, I changed my answer. He is guilty and he was desperate for money. He changed the will, y'all. He changed the will. She said, I'm more banging the hell out of them keys. Yes. So I was like, oh my God. He produced a fraudulent version of his mother's will to influence. That's crazy. Yeah, he was going to beat his brother out of the money. She said the circumstantial evidence is enough evidence to prove guilt. Without a reasonable doubt, though? Without a reasonable doubt? Because if you charge him for her death, what are you going to charge him for? Strangulation? Poison? Shooting? Drowning? Like, what is it going to be? Don't you have to know how she died? There have to be proof of foul play, doesn't it? She said, well, that coroner doesn't have experience because there was ways you can tell that a death was caused by manual strangulation. That's if you suspect it, though. But if you didn't suspect it, because you got to think about it, they didn't see that or even accuse him of anything until a year later. She said, believe it or not, 50% of strangulations show no marks visible to a coroner. Really? I would think strangulation. I would think they would be able to tell that, but that's crazy. She said, yep, the burden of proof is on the prosecution only, not trying to change the subject, but was wondering if anything new happened in the Hurt twins. Yeah, they do have some new stuff going on, Lakeisha. We'll talk about it another day. She said, I have been on murder cases where no body was found, but the suspect was found guilty. This dude had motive, you know what I'm saying? Definitely had motive, but I don't know if motive is good enough to land you life in prison. The motive was definitely there, but I don't know. She said his actions are way too sinister and calculated. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, if he was in America, do y'all think that he would be charged, found guilty if this case was in America? Diva said, I tell my kids to live it up now because they ain't getting shit. We have wills, but they don't need the details. You told them that they ain't getting shit. Motive and circumstantial evidence will get you a life sentence guilty. She said, yes, some circumstantial cases can land you in prison for life if it's overwhelming evidence. Do you think if the case was had here in America, do you think that he would be found guilty? With what we know, we're trying to get that money, honey. She said, this man has done too much to be innocent. If he didn't take his mom out, he knows who did. Ooh. Mm-mm. Look, I'm trying to go soft. All right, let me see. This case is interesting, though. All right, so this is what it says. Did he have an alibi? So Andre stated that he visited his mom at her home the morning of the death. Now, of course, he had to say that because his phone pinged there, right? He said he visited his mother the morning of her death, spending approximately 50 minutes with her. He claimed they had coffee and talks during their visit. However, he did not inform the police or family members that he might have been the last person to see her alive. Damn, citing shock as the reason for withholding this information. So he was the last person to see her alive, y'all. Oh my God. Man, only in, listen, America, they have him guilty 5 days ago. The prosecution contended that Andre's presence at his mom's home was not for a casual visit, but was instead an opportunity to commit the alleged crime. That's what the prosecution is saying. They argued that his failure to disclose the visit to authorities and family members raised suspicion about his involvement in her death. So he omitted it. Not omitted it, but omitted it. He didn't tell nobody. He did not tell nobody at first that he was with his mother for 50 minutes the day of her murder. And now you got to understand that the girlfriend said for 45 minutes, she texted and called this dude with no response. Oh, Lord. So are we changing verdicts or are we still saying we're going to wait until the trial over with? She said, y'all, please make sure y'all have a trust cannot be contested. She said, that's it. He put something in her coffee that was undetectable. You think so? So y'all think he may have poisoned her? She said, absolutely. He would be found guilty if he was in the U.S. Look how many cases were built off of it and charged for public opinion. Yep. Deanne said that joker going down. Listen. Michelle said that sound like me typing in my office at work. I be typing aggressive as hell. Yeah, she said the girlfriend he was cleaning up to the crime scene. Wait a minute, what girlfriend he was cleaning up the crime scene? But you know what? What was the crime scene? He may have placed her in the shower. He may have placed her in the shower. I don't think he did it, and I think he's going to be found guilty. But that's just my own personal feelings about it, because you don't go out of your way to do all of this, and you're the last person to see her alive. Come on. If he was at his mom's house drinking coffee and eating pastries, what was he doing for 50 minutes that he didn't answer the phone for his girlfriend? He was putting his mom in the shower, and I'm just playing. I don't know. Maybe he's saying that was him and his mama time. His coffee and donuts or whatever, pastries with him and his mama was him and his mama time. I mean, that's what he might come back and say. Yeah. I don't know. She said, yep, he poisoned her. That's what Marissa said. He poisoned her. He could have poisoned her with her own medicine. She said, trust is better, definitely better than a will. Family members have come into my office with 11 wills after someone stole their heirlooms. Wow. So anyway, we're going to keep you guys up to date on this story. I definitely wanted to bring it to you. I may come back a little later, and then I may not. I may just come back tomorrow. But there's another story that I want to bring you guys about this lady, Lord Jesus. Oh, my God. She just received 50 years for allowing her children to live with their deceased brother. Yeah, y'all heard me. It's crazy. It's wild. It's whack. Okay? So my next live will be about that. So if you're interested, come on back. But yeah, she's crazy. Who does that, right? It gets yucky, sticky, and nasty. She said, yeah, he probably will be found guilty, you guys. A more mama and pastry time. That was his pastry time. She said, I'm interested in the Hurt saga too. Okay. You know what? Thanks for reminding me. Let me write this down. Let me just put this over here on my notes right quick. I need to go and do an update on that one, because he swear he's gonna get his kids back. He's scary if you ask me. He forever talking about, oh, this fight is not over. So Hurt Twins update. All right. I need to do the Hurt Twin update. And didn't the nanny come out and say something else? She getting kind of crazy at this point, but I may come back out and tell you what the nanny just said now, but I'll give you guys the Hurt Twins update as well, okay? Because he swear he gonna get his kids back. I don't know how. I guess he gonna climb in the window and kidnap them and run or something. I don't know. She said, love this type of content. Amora keeps succeeding. Thank you, Diva Chick. She said, who else going live? I need help staying up at work. Hey, I think Jenny might be going live. I think. She said, the Hurt Daddy is looking more and more like a crackhead. He is. He is so hurt. That name fits him perfect. You hear me? He is so hurt. We're going to talk about him. Let me gather and find out what the latest about the Hurt Twins. The last I know, he had got all his rights taken away, but I know he's still fighting. So I'll let you guys know. She said, who did Justin just give $400 to? Was that the twins' dad you're talking about? Did Justin, what? Did he give the Hurt father $400? Oh my God. You're going to have me go look. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did? Let me see. I just want to see. That dude is still posting. I thought he wasn't supposed to post. He don't care no more. I don't think he cared at all, but he definitely don't care now. He is still posting his kids. All right, let me look. No, it doesn't have his name unless he did it anonymously. So I don't see his name on the GoFundMe. So I don't see it. She said, who is part of the Hurt group? The Hurt twins. We're gonna talk about that on our, we're gonna talk about that. Not on this live. We'll talk about that one, you guys. But it's this guy. I will talk about it. It's a long story. If I get into it, then I'm going to get into it. So we'll talk about that on our next live. Not next live, but we'll talk about that on our next few lives. If not tomorrow, then probably not tomorrow because tomorrow I want to laugh. Friday, I want to laugh. So we'll talk about the Hurt twins on Monday, okay? Monday, I will do an update for the Hurt twins, all right? She said Justin tried to get Cora Instagram taken away, but she got it back. He's still over there trying to do all that craziness, huh? Don't make no dang on sense. I'll do an update on the Cora and the Hurt twins on the same day. How about that? Because they kind of, they friends. They definitely friends. All right, you guys, listen, this is all for today. Thank you very much for those that sent in a tip, which was Tinkers. Thank you so very much. Do appreciate you. And thank you for becoming a member and part of our family, Lisa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And wait a minute, because I think I woke up to a Coca-Cola. I think I did. Yes, a new day. Thank you very much. I don't even know if you hear a new day. Are you here? Are you in the chat? She said, just because I see you, I see your heart. Love you more. Keep the content coming. Thank you so much, A New Day, and will do. Listen, hit this thumbs up right here. I will keep you guys abreast as to what goes on in this Australia case. I actually believe the guy's guilty, and I believe he's going to be found guilty. I know that the coroner can't prove strangulation or whatever the case may be, but this dude definitely had motives, and everything that he seems that he did screams he's guilty, okay? But I will definitely keep up with it and let you know. Thank you, Barbara, so very much for the $10 super chat. She said, just showing some love. I do appreciate it, Barbara. She says, later today or another day. Can't wait to hear the story. Which one? About the lady that had her kids living with the corpse or the Hurt twins? Which one? The one that the lady that had her kids living with the corpse, that's not going to be a long story. That's literally going to be maybe like 15 minutes because her ass got 50 years. She's crazy. She deserved every 50 years she got. Nut. She a whole nut. So which one you trying to hear first, D. Adams? About the lady that got 50 years for, oh my God, some sick crap. I can actually tell y'all that story now. Let me go and tell y'all that story. Let me tell y'all this story about this crazy ass lady. Let me tell y'all how crazy some people is. Hold on. Let me pull this story up in my notes. Give me a second. This lady, hold on one second. This is not even going to last long because y'all got to hear this stupidity right here. Y'all got to hear this stupidity right here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. This lady, let me pull up her picture right quick because she is just crazy. Let me pull up this girl picture. Let me pull up this girl. I'm trying to see if I can get a better picture of her. Maybe you can see her right here. Look at this lady. Let me tell y'all about this lady right here. Y'all, this lady right here, 38 years old, right? This lady, boyfriend. Now she had a boyfriend. He was let me put his picture up right quick. Him right here. This dude right here. Y'all see him? Hold on. That dude. These two fools right here. He beat the boy unalived. Okay? He beat him until he was no longer. Well, they didn't want to get in trouble, so let me pull a picture back up. They didn't want to get in trouble, so they did not report it. They left the deceased corpse body in the room with her 3 other children. Well, guess what? They couldn't no longer take the smell of the decomposing body because it was disgusting, and it started generating flies and bugs and roaches and nastiness, that they literally left the apartment and went and got them another apartment 25 minutes away from the other apartment, okay? Follow me, y'all. Please follow me. The boyfriend and the mother, the girl you see here, left the apartment and went and got another apartment 25 minutes away. But guess what? She left her kids in that old apartment. The 3 kids she left with the dead corpse. She left the kids in the apartment. Now, the ages of the other kids that she left to live alone with the unalived 8-year-old was 15, 10, and 7. Her boyfriend moved because they couldn't take the smell. The kids was found malnutrition. The apartment was in deplorable conditions, disgusting, nasty, soil carpet, infestation of flies and roaches and nastiness. And she said, I didn't report the death because she knew that her and her boyfriend would get in trouble. Now, he was charged with beating the boy to death, right? And her ass was charged. What was her charges? Let me see. She was sentenced to 50 years in prison for her role in the death of the 8-year-old. This happened back in 2021 here in Houston, Texas. She had these kids living there for months in an unfurnished apartment. She took the goddamn furniture, y'all. Did y'all hear me? Her and this fool took the furniture and left the kids. And she would go check on them here and there, make sure they ate here and there. But her and her boyfriend, they stayed in the other apartment where it wasn't no roaches. Well, I ain't gonna say it wasn't no roaches, but y'all know what I mean. The roaches didn't come from a deceased body, you know? This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But even though she got 50 years, they said she will be eligible for parole after serving 25 years. Now, for that, I don't know why. Maybe because her part in the death of the son was just hiding the body and not reporting it, whereas the boyfriend is the one that beat the boy. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's put his picture back up right quick. Y'all know how I feel. I think I probably told y'all a zillion times. Let's put the boyfriend picture back up. Okay, listen to this, you guys. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Ain't no way in the hell I'm letting no boyfriend beat my child. Or no husband that's not his. I ain't no way. So he beat the boy to death. That's what he did. An 8-year-old. He beat him to death. It said the apartment was in horrible condition. We saw soiled carpet, no furniture at all, no bedding, no blankets that we could see. We saw roaches, we saw flies, and a very bad condition for anyone to live in. The boy's skeleton remains had been covered up with a blue blanket, left in his room for a whole year. A whole year, y'all. A whole year. Her kids testified in court against her, their mama. The kids. They had to testify on how the 8-year-old died. Damn. They had to testify. You got a 10, 15, and 7-year-old have to provide a testimony of how their sibling died. That's crazy. She pled guilty in October to 2 charges of injury to a child in connection with the death of her 8-year-old son, Kendrick Lee. So that was her husband. Oh, shoot. So wait a minute, why they got different names? It says in April, Williams' husband, Brian Coulter, 34, was sentenced to life in prison without parole for beating the boy to death in late 2020. So they were married. They were married. And he beat his stepson to death. Imagine that for a second. Ain't no damn way. And I'm going to help you cover it up. Ain't no damn way. Ain't no way. No way, no way, no way. She said, what the hell did she think was going to happen? I don't know. Like, first of all, obviously she didn't like her kids. He must have said, oh, it stinks in here. I don't want to be in here. You know, I'm moving. And she probably said, I'm moving with you. Who knows? Who knows? It said, as a part of her plea agreement, she requested the children not have to testify again about the death per the release. According to the district attorney's office, William had to serve at least a half of her sentence before she'll be eligible. By pleading guilty and waiving the rights to a jury trial, the defendant finally acts like a protective mom. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It said at a press conference announcing the charges, it said the husband was described as a manipulator, but said William still bore responsibilities for her own damn son's death. But they said here he manipulated her, but she still holds responsibility. This is crazy as hell. Nasty work. She tried to protect him. She was concerned about him instead of her 3 children, or 4 children. She had 4. And one of them, 8 years old, was unalive. And y'all see why I said that I don't let no boyfriends, no husbands, that if it ain't his child. Not saying that the bio father can't do it, but I'm damn if a boyfriend do it. Anyway, so that's it on that story. I mean, the story is not long. She just, the part that got me was the chick moved to a whole nother apartment. Her and this food. Like, are you kidding me right now? It's disgusting. It's nasty. It's horrible. Who can stand that smell? They couldn't stand the smell. That's why they left. Can you imagine being in an apartment or leaving your kids in an apartment that's filled with roaches and flies? Ugh. And you know what flies bring, right? Maggots. She said, well, Susan Smith from South Carolina was denied parole yesterday for unaliving her two sons in 1996. Yeah, that's the lady that said that the black man did it because she didn't want the kids no more because her new boyfriend didn't want her to have no children. So she wanted to be without kids, so she decided to blame it on the black man. That's good she was denied parole. Anyway, she said, I started smelling death as soon as you started talking about it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I probably should have warned you guys too. I'm so sorry. Anyway, but listen, it's nasty, it's disgusting, it's horrible, it's unbelievable. Sometimes you be like, this shit didn't happen. Like, you can't believe this type of stuff. Well, nobody do nothing like that. Well, they did. They did. They did. And they be like, oh, I was scared to say anything because I knew he would get locked up if I said anything. And now they both locked up. Would you rather see him locked up or would you rather both be locked up? She said, I don't get how weak these women are to sit there and watch a man handle your children. Shaking my head got me effed up. By your dad or not, don't touch my child, period. Run by me first and I'll deal with my child. Deal with the child. Hey, raw truth. I was a protective mom too, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. I was so protective when nobody touching my kids. Nobody was touching my kids. You hear me? Boy, you would have thought they was fragile. So anyway, that was a quick story, but it's disgusting, you guys. So maybe I should have did a disclaimer, honey, because, yeah, that was one of the... It caught my attention because I was like, this has to be the sickest shit ever that I've ever came across. Like, this is mad whack. Mad whack. She wanted to be with that old... He looked like a whole felon already, but, I mean, what does a felon look like, right? Oh, yeah, and listen, it said that the kids wanted to call long time ago, but they were scared. But the 15-year-old got up enough courage and said, I'm calling, and he called 911. But he was scared to do it at first. But he got up enough courage and dialed 911 and told on his parents. So anyway, let that sink in. It makes no sense, boy. I'm trying to tell you, these men and these women that pick these men. So she got 25 years and he got life. He ain't never getting out, and she might get out in 25 years. She's 38 now. How much is 38 and 25, you guys? 38, 25. That's 68. And 5 is 13, so that's 63. She's eligible to get out at 63 years old. She done messed up her whole damn life. Oh, my God. She's eligible at 63. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, you guys hit that thumbs up button on the way out. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Yay! She kept talking about
We
that
got these
family.
hoes over there clapped out,
She kept
man.
talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be wanting to listen. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
tomorrow.